Hi, I'm Josie, and today I'm going to teach you how to divide fractions. So I have a question up on the screen here, and that's the question that I'm going to use as my fraction division question. So the question is, Josie has 4 bottles of water. She needs to split the water into smaller bottles to share with her friends before she goes on her field trip. Each bottle holds 2/3 of the original bottle. How many bottles will she fill? So the first way I'm going to show you how to do this is visually. So I'm going to draw 4 bottles here. I'm drawing them vertically, but you can draw them horizontally. I'm just drawing them vertically to make them look more like bottles. I'm also drawing the lids on them. Okay, so now I'm going to split the bottles into thirds because that is how much each of the smaller bottles holds. And now I'm going to shade 2/3 of each bottle in to show one bottle. So this is one group or one bottle. And this is also another 2/3, which is also another group or another bottle. And I'm just drawing B's to show that it's bottles. And this is another bottle. And this is another bottle. So as you can see, we have some extra squares here, 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 and here. But it's really simple to fix because all you have to do is see these 2 squares here. These 2 squares are each 1/3, so if you put them together, they make 2/3, which is a bottle. And the same for the 2 1/3 down here. Put together, they make a bottle. So now the simplest part of this is we have to count the number of bottles that we shaded in. So this would be 1 bottle, this would be a second bottle, 3 bottles, 4 bottles, 5 bottles, 6 bottles. So we found out that Josie fills up 6 bottles to share with her friends. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to find out how to divide fractions using an equation. So first I'm going to write out our question, which is 4 divided by 2/3. 4 bottles split into smaller bottles. And the first thing we're going to have to do is take the whole number and make it into a fraction. And it's really easy. All you have to do is bring it down, put the 4 as the numerator, and just put a 1 as the denominator or the placeholder. And then just bring 2/3 down because that's already a fraction. So now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to multiply by the reciprocal. And the reciprocal is basically when you take the fraction and you flip it, so the denominator would become the numerator and the numerator would become the denominator. So now we're going to write out our new equation, which is 4/1 times, and I'm doing a dot as my times sign, 3/2 instead of 2/3 equals, so we do 4 times 3, which is 12, and 1 times 2, which is 2. And then the last thing we have to do is divide the numerator by the denominator. So that 12 divided by 2 equals 6. So we found out that Josie puts the water into 6 smaller bottles to share with her friends. Okay, so to recap, We modeled our equations visually first, which is really helpful to get a full overview of your fraction divisions. And then we multiplied by the reciprocal in an equation, which is really helpful for just a quick, easy way to figure out dividing a fraction. And all that work brings us on to our conclusion. And our conclusion is Josie splits her 4 bottles of water into 6 smaller bottles to share with her friends before she goes on her field trip. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you learned how to divide fractions.